Coming up, we'll take a look at how you can take a walk through Fort Hall's history.
And we'll show you a business that is taking advantage of the Upper Valley's weather all year long.
Hello and welcome to Upper Valley, Idaho. I'm Ashley Anderson.
And I'm Stephanie Hull. Thanks for being with us.
When you think of homecoming, you often think of late fall football games. However, former St. Anthony resident and current NFL player Brandon Bear came back to his hometown for some summer football.
Our reporter Brian Howard stopped by Brandon's youth football camp at his high school alma mater, South Fremont.
It's a 90-degree summer day, and many kids in St. Anthony are probably taking a swim at the local sandbar on the river. But not these guys. They're soaking in every word from Brandon Bear, a professional football player for the Oakland Raiders.
Football is my favorite sport, and I wanted to try to get as good as I can at it before the season starts.
What do you think so far?
I like it. It's pretty cool.
I grew up coming to camps and having opportunities to go and do some of this stuff, and I just want to come out and have a chance to give back.
The kids aren't the only ones excited to have Brandon back in town. Their parents appreciate that Brandon would take the time in his off-season to work with their boys.
I think it's awesome. These kids are really excited to know that he started here and that he's willing to come back and teach them the things that he knows. I think it's awesome.
Brandon remembers what it was like to be a kid who looks up to the athletes in the National Football League.
For me, I still feel just like a normal human being. You know, I know that's what I'm doing for work, but it's good to see these kids and hear their questions and see how they perceive what I do for a living, and for them just to have that opportunity to meet an NFL player. I don't think I ever met one until I was an NFL player.
Brandon runs sessions for both grade school and high school age players. He says the best things about the summer camp are seeing the players improve and making a few new friends.
Well, really what I love to see is the kids change. So just from the beginning of a camp to the end of the camp, you see these kids that you teach something, and then by the end of camp, they're getting it. And for me, that's just such an awesome experience to see in just a matter of 3 or 4 days, the changes that a kid will have in their abilities and what they can accomplish that way. And then the other thing is just the opportunity to build kind of a friendship with these kids. So when I come back in town and I'm just being a normal person, I can say hi to them on the street and make their day and recognize them and call them by their name. And so, yeah, those are definitely my favorite things.
When summer camp is over, Upper Valley athletes can still benefit from Brandon's involvement in the local community. He recently opened a sports training facility in Rexburg called The Zone.
As there's nowhere really to work out around here in the winter. I know that for me, luckily I grew up on a farm and that was my winter work. I had a chance to work. But there's no indoor football fields and workout facilities for kids who want to go out and do stuff year round. And if you go anywhere else in the country, and I've had an opportunity to travel and see a lot of places, they've got these facilities all over the place, and people are becoming elite athletes at a young age because they've got the facilities to train in. And so I wanted to provide the community here with something like that as well.
Brandon hopes to build a new building someday that would include a large space with indoor turf to practice football during the winter. For the near future, Brandon will soon be heading back to Oakland to prepare for the upcoming season with the Raiders. But for at least 1 week in the summer, he gets to spend some time back at home.
It's just great to come out and see everything and think of the old memories that I had here and the experiences that I had and kind of the changing points in my life and the things that have gotten me where I'm at now.
In St. Anthony, Brian Howard, Upper Valley, Idaho.
This was the second summer Brandon has hosted the football camp in St. Anthony. The proceeds from the camp go to buying equipment for the local high school.
Near the community of Driggs, there's a beautiful canyon that attracts hikers from all around. It's called Darby Canyon. I put on my hiking boots, packed a camera, and took the short drive to Driggs for a first-hand look at this beautiful destination. Creeks and waterfalls, cliffs, and a cave. These are just some of the things that bring people to the Idaho-Wyoming border for a hike. From the trailhead to the Wind Cave and back is about a 5-mile hike, but it's something that people of all ages can enjoy.
It's a good beginner hike for the season to get you ready for other hikes.
From the start it was fun, and then it got a little harder, which made it more fun. It's like an endurance kind of thing.
Others say it's just a good place to get a break.
It's just nice to know that there's still
places like this to just get rid of stress and have a good time.
One thing about the hike that attracts people is how family-friendly it is. It's a common thing to see young children on the hike.
We've done it since our kids were probably 6 and 8. We have our relatives here that are, it's our first hike.
The hike also allows for people to bring dogs and even ride horses along the trail. At the end of the trail is a cave known as the Wind Cave, as well as a waterfall.
It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful hike. There's something at the end that's neat, the waterfall and the cave.
If you go, you want to make sure you have enough supplies. You want to have a good supply of water and possibly some snacks to keep energized. The hikers there had a few suggestions for those who want to hike at Darby Canyon.
It's really difficult to breathe, so make sure you drink a lot of water.
Just a good pair of walking shoes, I guess.
Pace yourself. It's steep, and water, and definitely bring a camera because it's beautiful.
Reporting from Driggs, this is Stephanie Hull, Upper Valley, Idaho. The Darby Canyon hike is open from May to September every year.
The Cable Factory is a new business in the Upper Valley. The factory has a unique style of family recreation that's available all year round. Reporter Morgan Mathis has more.
The Cable Factory started as just a dream. Brett Kessler, the owner of the Cable Factory, dreamt of having a lake where he could put a wakeboard cable system.
I remembered seeing a cable park in Florida one time when I was traveling, and so I looked at it and did some research on cable parks and decided that it would be a fun thing to have here in Rexburg, Idaho.
But he knew the cold weather would make his dream difficult.
Oh, summers are so small that it's hard to justify the investment of the cable park. And so I thought of ways that we could make it work, and the one way to be able to make that work was to include it in the snow as well. And no one had ever put it on snow and built a snowboard park, so we were the first ones to try that. And it worked out great, It worked out so that we could operate for another 2 or almost 3 months in the winter, plus all of the summer.
Now the Cable Factory is a reality, offering snowboarders and wakeboarders a different option for recreation. Graham Barris, a professional wakeboarder, says that there are plenty of differences between riding on a cable and behind a boat.
On the boat, it's just going to be, you're riding behind a boat, you have 2 small waves to cut back and forth across. At a cable park, you have a variety of jumps and rails and obstacles that you can use to get air or slide across of, similar to wakeboarding or snowboarding or skateboarding.
The biggest difference is that on a cable, someone is watching the boarder at all times. For those new to the water or ice, the Cable Factory will watch the rider to determine their need for speed.
It's like the place to come to learn to wakeboard. Learning behind a boat is extremely hard. With this upward pull of a cable system, you're able to pop right up out of the water, and the speed's adjustable for everybody, so kids to adults alike. It's a very, very, very beginner-friendly process of learning to ride out here.
For those in the Upper Valley who may not be as adventurous,
it's not just wakeboarding that we do. We also have a sandy beach. We have those stand-up paddle boards that are a lot of fun. You can rent a paddle board or a kayak. You can come out and fish or just sit on the beach. And so there's a lot to do here at the Cable Factory.
now people of all ages come to enjoy what started out as just a dream. Reporting from the Cable Factory in Rexburg, this is Morgan Mathis, Upper Valley, Idaho.
The Cable Factory offers classes every Tuesday and Thursday and a summer wakeboarding camp for kids.
There's a local recreation area that is literally a hotspot. We'll tell you all about it.
And we'll show you how technology has come to your local drive-in movie theater. We'll be right back.
He rescues her from the zombies, and then he kisses her.
Then she smacks him.
And then he delivers the pizza on time.
I love it.
We'll also design a print campaign, and we'll advertise in the Scroll and Scroll Digital.
Where do I sign?
Join ICOM, Student Media.
Welcome back. About 15 minutes outside of Rari, there's a local hotspot that has become a popular recreation area.
I went to discover what has kept the Heisey Hot Springs running for over 100 years. From camping to ziplining, Heisey Hot Springs offers a variety of attractions for those looking for a bit of summer fun. The establishment began with the hot springs back in the late 1800s. Richard Heiss came from Germany to Idaho in about 1890. He traveled as a salesman, but suffered from severe rheumatism.
Some Indians had told him about some healing water up here in this part. So he made his way up here and sat in the hot pool and found relief and decided to homestead the area. Heisey is how we pronounce it now, was established in 1898.
Heiss decided to give the hot springs the same feel as the spas in Europe. It started with a building over the hot pool. Pretty soon, the water was piped from the hot springs to some public pools Heiss had built. After that, a store, a post office, and a hotel were built. Richard Heiss died on October 31st in 1921, but the hot springs continued. Today, after more than 100 years of service, the Heisey establishment offers more than just a few pools.
We have, of course, our hot pool, which is mineral water. We have a warm pool, which is fresh water, it's chlorinated. We have a summer pool with a diving board and a big 350-foot water slide. We have a big campground. We have a golf course, a pizza parlor. It's pretty famous for around here. We also have the new zip line tour, and we also do guided fishing trips down the South Fork of the Snake River.
The campground has plenty of room for large groups. They offer spaces for tents as well as full hookups with water and electricity for RVs. Much of the campground is along the river and close to pavilions. The Heisey Golf Course is a 9-hole course, but you can play a full 18-hole game. If you don't have your own equipment, you can rent it. You can choose from a variety of options for a fishing expedition, from a half day of fishing to a few days of fishing. Their office is located next to the zipline office, which is the newest attraction at Heisey Resort. There are 7 zip lines and a double line. The double line is the newest line and goes over 1,550 feet. The whole zipline tour covers more than 1.5 miles of terrain and can last up to 3 hours.
I think the zip line is the newest and most adventurous attraction that people are drawn to. Heisey is a destination place for families, for reunions, for company parties. If there's some place you want to go but you just don't know what everyone's going to want to do, there's a variety of activities here. We kind of like to say here at Heisey there's something for everyone.
Reporting from Heisey Hot Springs, this is Stephanie Hull, Upper Valley, Idaho. Heisey Hot Springs is even open during the winter from Labor Day to Memorial Day. The zipline also has a Halloween and a full moon tour.
If you'd like to take a trip back in time, just make a quick stop just north of Pocatello. Reporter Morgan Mathis gives us a tour of the Fort Hall replica.
Calling all pioneers, this replica of Fort Hall, run by the Pocatello City Parks and Recreation Department, strives to keep history alive.
This is a replica of the original Fort Hall that was built in 1834 on what is now the bottoms on the Snake River on the Indian reservation. People can come in and it would be a living history, not just reading a dull book or looking at some old faded pictures. This would be a living history for young people. It would be a memory reviver for the older people.
The fort recalls the history of 19th century entrepreneur Nathaniel Jarvis and his men. Looking for adventure and opportunity, Jarvis eventually set up a trading post in the Snake River Valley near the Oregon and California trails. It's estimated that nearly 270,000 pioneers passed through this post. The Fort Hall replica provides modern-day pioneers information of the rich history of fur trapping, trading, Native Americans, and explorers. Nearby Pocatello Junction gives visitors a look into early Pocatello life. The small replica has several different buildings with open windows and doors. Each room in Pocatello Junction and the Fort Hall replica give a glimpse of the past that those with a pioneer spirit are sure to enjoy. Reporting from the Fort Hall replica in Pocatello, this is Morgan Mathis, Upper Valley, Idaho.
The price to visit the replica ranges from $2 to $4 and is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day.
One locally owned family business is sending its Idaho products all over the world. Browning's honey is produced right here in southeast Idaho. Reporter Josh Crandall takes us inside the family's store.
If you're driving down the Louisville Highway just north of Idaho Falls, don't blink or you'll miss the Browning's Honey gift shop that is just full of surprises.
My name is Tommy Browning. I am a beekeeper here, along with my father, who is the owner. We actually go out to the colonies of bees and we take care of them, medicate them, feed them, make sure that they've got enough boxes to put honey inside of, and we do the basic grunt work. From then on, it goes to an extraction facility in North Dakota, and they pull all the honey out of the boxes through machinery, and they ship it back here, and we sell it.
And sell it they do. Browning sells more types of honey products than you can shake a stick at.
Our company first started in Rexburg. When the Teton Dam broke, it flooded us out, and we got some property down here in Idaho Falls. Since then, we've had a lot of luck, and I think we're better off here in Idaho Falls than we were in Rexburg.
At the gift shop, you can really see that a lot of hard work goes a long way.
A lot of the workers produce some of the beeswax, hand lotions, and face scrubs. We produce honey, we produce clover and cream, and other honey syrups, honey vinegar, honey wine, just about anything that has honey in it.
It doesn't seem so at first, but Browning's Honey is actually a homegrown, family-run business.
My grandpa Merle, he started it up with my grandpa Elmer here in this valley in Idaho, and they went about raising about 500 or so hives. Nowadays we have about, I'd say about 21,000 hives.
Though it is a local business, not a lot of honey stays local.
A very small percentage comes to Idaho. We sell it for retail throughout this gift shop and other ones, well, just local supermarkets and such. Most of the honey that we make, we ship back east, and they sell it to Europe and all sorts of areas. Supposedly, Europeans eat a lot more honey than Americans do.
So the next time you're in Idaho Falls, be sure to swing by the Browning's Honey gift shop. It's almost impossible to leave empty-handed. Reporting for Upper Valley, Idaho, I'm Josh Crandall.
You can check out all the varieties of honey on their website at browningshoney.com.
Just west of the St. Anthony and far away from the nearest ocean are miles of sand dunes. We'll tell you how they got there.
And one of America's favorite pastimes is alive and well in Idaho Falls every summer. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. There are lots of things to do outdoors in Idaho. From hiking to fly fishing, you have your pick of activities.
Reporter Adam Scholes introduced us to one area of the Upper Valley that is so unique that you'll want to see it for yourself.
Eastern Idaho is generally known for many things: potatoes, the Snake River, and the availability of public recreation areas. One of Eastern Idaho's popular recreation areas are the St. Anthony Sand Dunes. The sand dunes cover 10,000 acres of land west of St. Anthony and are popular with outdoor enthusiasts from near and far. Ed Kroll and his family have been coming from out of state to enjoy what the dunes have to offer. Carl said on their first trip they almost got rained out.
And we rode the dunes, which are, we feel, the best dunes. Been to Glamis, been to all around, and these are the best that we've found. We decided this was our vacation, our main one. We do others, but this is it.
But these dunes have a secret. They weren't always here. In fact, they used to be way over there. Ed Williams, a geology professor at BYU, Idaho, said that the dunes originated from an ancient dried-up lake.
The sand dunes, sometimes called the St. Anthony sand dunes, originated at Market Lake. And Market Lake is out to the west from here. It's a lake here in the western United States. During the Ice Age, we had a number of lakes. In this area, we had one that was called Lake Territon. The low level of Lake Territon is now Mud Lake.
Here in Mud Lake, Idaho, the lake still exists, but it has shrunk over thousands of years, leaving behind lots of sand. In the springtime, turbulent weather systems passing through eastern Idaho sometimes push wind speeds into the 50 and 60 mile per hour range, which only moves more of the desert towards St. Anthony.
There's one place out there at the sand dunes that's going across the road, what we call the Red Road. It goes up to Kilgore. They have to go along every few months in the summertime and scoop that up, put it on the other side, otherwise it'd cover up the road.
The sand dunes have been here for thousands of years, and if Mother Nature has anything to do with it, they'll be here to enjoy for years to come. Reporting from the St. Anthony Sand Dunes, this is Adam Scholes, Upper Valley, Idaho.
The sand dunes are open from April to December, and if you don't own your own ATV, there are several local businesses that will rent them out.
Drive-in theaters have been operating for years, but keeping them running can be costly. Reporter Morgan Mathis shows us how one local drive-in has undergone a technological upgrade to keep an old tradition alive.
Drive-in theaters have been a staple in America since the 1930s. With growing popularity in movie rentals and things like Netflix, people have fallen away from the beloved tradition. According to drive-ins.com, there are only 353 drive-ins left in the United States. The Teton View in Rexburg, Idaho, is one drive-in striving to keep this tradition alive.
It's really fun just bunkering down in the car and being able to sit out in the sky. You have the stars above you, the screen in front of you, the sound around you. It's a very different atmosphere than sitting in a dark enclosed theater with people sitting right next to you and you're squished in. You can spread out more, you're outside in the fresh air, and it's just a lot more laid back and a lot more fun.
Vanessa Brad and her brothers own and operate the Teton View.
We've been in the movie business since we were kids, and my parents opened the Paramount Twin, and we just thought I was sitting out here and decided it would be really fun to have the drive-in up and running again.
While the Teton View tries to make their theater have the same feeling of drive-ins in the past, some things have changed. Drive-ins are moving to digital projectors. These projectors can cost up to $60,000, making running a drive-in costly.
We get very little out of tickets. One thing that a lot of people don't understand is the movie companies that make the movies get most of the ticket money. We can't survive if people don't support us by buying our food. That is the only place that we make money. It's the only way to pay the bills.
Bratt says that the success of the drive-in is up to the support of the community. As long as people continue to come, they will continue to play great movies. Reporting from the Teton View in Rexburg, this is Morgan Mathis, Upper Valley, Idaho.
If you want to find your nearest drive-in, you can go to driveintheater.com.
These days, everyone is looking for a good deal, even when it comes to getting your hair cut.
Reporter Hillary Strotterman visits Evans Hairstyling College in Rexburg, where they promise a good cut at a good price.
Getting haircuts, highlights, or pedicures can be expensive. In these tough economic times, it might be hard to splurge on these services. But schools like Evans Hairstyling College are helping people stay under their budget.
Well, our prices are lower because we are a school. We're a training institution, and so by lowering the prices, we get people in the chair for students to have practice.
Each week, 600 to 700 people visit Evans Hairstyling College. Some people come even as far as Jackson, Wyoming, or Blackfoot, Idaho, to receive these services. The owner of Evans Hairstyling College, Rick Evans, says a lot of large families and students take advantage of these lower prices.
They're cheaper than other beauty colleges or salons around Rexburg. I think it helps people save money.
Rick Evans also says that most people go to this college to either get their hair cut or dyed. Haircuts cost $5, while highlights and coloring cost up to $30.
Obviously, it's not as cheap as doing it out of a box, but for the time involved and everything, I've just decided it's worth it. It's worth it to me.
I'm Hillary Strouderman.
Evans Hairstyling College is open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 to 5. To see more of their services, check out their website at evanshairstylingcollege.com.
Every summer, minor league baseball comes to Idaho Falls. Our reporter Brian Muir shows us how the Idaho Falls Chuckers has been a grand slam in the Upper Valley.
This year marks the 75th anniversary of Idaho Falls minor league baseball. We came to take a look and see how the Chuckers have changed over the years and all that they have to offer.
Back years ago, minor league baseball was structured a little bit differently than it is now. At this point, pretty much everyone has 6 or 7 minor league clubs. We fall under the Kansas City Royals organization as their third step along through their 7-tier minor league system.
But a lot more than just the dynamics of the league has changed over the years, including multiple name changes and even fields.
Russets was the first name. Then for a while, affiliations would change, and so for years, the team would take the name of the major league affiliate. We've been the Idaho Falls A's, the Idaho Falls Braves, the Idaho Falls Angels, throughout all these different transitions. And then in 2004, we knew we were going to go through another affiliation change, and we said, you know what? Tired of changing uniforms, tired of changing our look, our logo. Let's come up with our own look, our own name that we could be there for the next 100 years. And we've been the Chuckers ever since 2004. We're now in our 3rd ballpark in the same location. The old wooden ballpark, Highland Park, built back in the late 30s, burnt down in the 70s. McDermott Field was built in its place, and then that was tore down in 2006. Melaleuca Field was built in 2007, and since then, attendance has been up, 60–70%.
The Chuckers' history also includes a variety of different ownerships.
At one point, the Post-Register, the newspaper in town, owned it. Later on, the team was what's called community owned and operated, meaning what they did was they sold shares, and individuals from throughout the community would buy shares of stock in the team. But right as soon as that happened, the team owner now, Dave Elmore, had just bought the team in Pocatello, saw that the Idaho Falls team had shut down. This was in 1986. So he took the Pocatello team that year and immediately moved it to Idaho Falls.
For the last 75 years, Chuckers baseball has been a great part of the Idaho Falls community. We can't wait to see what the next 75 years has in store. Reporting from Melaleuca Field in Idaho Falls, Brian Muir, Upper Valley, Idaho.
If you'd like to be a part of the summer tradition, you can find tickets and more information at ifchuckers.com.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Upper Valley, Idaho. Thank you so much for being with us.
We hope you continue to enjoy all the gems the Upper Valley has to offer.